Hello there, welcome into another episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. In this podcast episode, I want to talk to you about something that I have developed to go along and to fit into the Crest system, especially as it relates to doing webinars and things like that. It's called the Russian Doll Stack, and I hope that name is intriguing enough to you to get started with it. I'm excited to tell you about this and what it could mean for the way that you create offers and sell things in your own business. I do have a free download for you. If you want to go ahead and get that now, you can, so you can kind of see a little bit of what I'm talking about, or you can wait until the end of the episode. That'd be fine too. Regardless, you can go to northmaxservices.com/widget. You're going to get to download something that is called the Widget Brainstormer. I developed this from scratch, and it's a super helpful tool, and we're going to talk a little bit about it throughout this episode, and you can refer back to it if you would like. So definitely go to northmaxservices.com/widget to get that downloaded and ready to go. I want to talk to you about a product versus an offer. When I started learning about marketing, I would say it was a good 4 or 5 years into the journey of marketing before I really understood this. Don't get me wrong. Now that I'm looking back on it and I see how I was marketed to in some cases, I can see how other people were employing this and how it was making sense and even how they were going about creating the offers. However, I never was given that distinction from the standpoint of how to create things for myself in my early years of learning what marketing is and really starting to get into it. And so for all this time, I still thought that when you sold things online, or frankly, if you sold things anywhere, you were always still just selling products. Even if you bundled them together, you still had a bundle of products, and they were never really anything more than that. And what I started to learn is about the concept of an offer. Now, an offer is, at its core, a bundle of products, but an irresistible offer is a way of thinking about marketing an offer that puts it together in such a way where the value is stacked up so high. This is why it's called an offer stack. The value is stacked up so high that it's just a no-brainer to purchase the offer itself, because the core product, whatever you're including in the offer as sort of like the main flagship product, whatever other secondary items that you add to it should add up to around 10 times the value, just what you're charging for the offer as a whole. It's really an incredible way of looking at things. It makes an offer irresistible. And so I think that if you can learn the difference between a product and an offer and how to start making offers in your business, it will make a lot of sense. I recently finished a Dan Kennedy book called Magnetic Marketing. It's a fantastic book. You should totally read it. And he talks about this concept of developing a widget. Now, to be honest with you, I don't really like the terminology because to me, when I think of widget, I think of the smallest part of something, maybe even the smallest product that somebody makes. Whereas a widget, in the way that he means it, is actually this large conglomerate of smaller products that others often refer to as an offer or an irresistible offer. But I wanted to create the tool, the Widget Brainstormer, with a nod to that idea of a widget, because I get the point. The point is that a widget is something that you can just create out of thin air. You can put it together, and it's a collection of other products and services and tools that you make available to people, and you put that together, and that becomes a widget. So you need to be creating widgets and irresistible offers in your business. And so oftentimes, right, this is going to be a bundle of products. There's going to be a mix of tools, physical products, information products, and services. It could be any mix of those things. Also, it needs to have a sexy name, right? It needs to be sexified. If you've got I'm trying to think of a really great example off the top of my head. If you've got a service that is let's say it's a oil change, like a local lube, you're a local small town, lube or something like that. And what you want to do is it comes with a oil change, but it also comes with, a check of the fluids, a rotation of the tires, changing out the wiper blades, or, whatever. And you can wrap that all in for $97 and call it the ultimate care bundle, or just whatever. You give it a name that itself is compelling. That is a widget. Okay, that is an offer. You're not just offering a oil change. You're not just offering a tire rotation, right? You're not just offering new windshield wipers. You're offering this package. You're calling it something specific. You're giving it a price, and you're discounting that price such that if the person was to go get those individual services all on their own, it would cost a lot more than that. And it's not always a hard and fast rule that it needs to be like 10 times the value, but that is a good goal to shoot for. And so, but regardless, it's a lot cheaper to purchase the actual offer than it is to get these individual items together. And that is something that you can make a marketing push around and get more people in for service than you normally would. Now, in a presentation, the offer stack is doing this over the course of about a 20 to 25 minute sales presentation, maybe a little bit longer than that. It's after you're done teaching the main content of your presentation, and then you move into the sales piece. And you can do an offer stack, which basically is a way to walk through each of those pieces of the value that you're offering, and then stack them in such a way. And it's just a really great technique around this. You can see Russell Brunson videos on YouTube that'll show you all about this. Right, but it shows you how to actually stack the value for these things such that you have the value in front of the customer the whole time, so they don't just see the final price. They all the time are understanding what the value is as they go along. Now, I said all of that to say this. Sometimes in the product that you're offering, you have what might be called a Russian doll stack. Okay, and I'm just going to read my own description from the Widget Brainstormer tool that I put in there because I think it's helpful and concise. So the Russian doll stack, or the RDS, happens when a single product or service could itself be considered a collection of multiple products, services, and or tools. In this case, you would skip creating an offer based on like the menu of your standard products and services, and instead list out the individual items that are already included with the single product in the offer stack column. Assign each a perceived stack value. Again, this will make sense if you're looking at the Widget Brainstormer. Assign each item a perceived stack value, and use this to unpack the RDS during your sales presentation or your funnel, or again, your marketing. Now, right, so what you're doing is you're learning how to create a menu of your products, services, and tools, and you're putting all those together in such a way, and using this tool, you can actually create an offer stack on demand. But what you would do in the case of a Russian doll offer is you could just take that core product, whatever it is, break out the individual pieces of that into the stack, give them a value, and then you find out just exactly what that one product is worth in a value scenario versus just what you're charging for it. A really great example is the review and reputation management services that my agency offers. So we offer this service for a set monthly amount per month, or a set amount per year. And it's just one service, right? It's the review and reputation management service. However, it's really more than that. If you look at what we do, so the services that are offered, the tool that's a part of it, and everything, there's actually a huge Russian doll stack there, because there's a lot of individual pieces of this that are different, that have different marketing and sales benefit to my clients. And so it makes sense to actually break these things out. Even though they're all included in the same tool and the same service offering, these are individual things that each should be assigned their own perceived value in a sales presentation. So that's something that I can break out and do, and I definitely plan to in a future webinar that I'm creating for it as I speak. I'm working on this right now. And so it's just really fresh on my mind. But there's a Russian doll stack there because the value itself is stacked so high that it's worth a lot more than what somebody's paying for it. And anytime you get that, then it's a perfect scenario to go ahead and create an offer stack based on that. And this means you don't need to add any additional products and services and tools unless you just want to. But you can go ahead and just break out that core offer into a stack of its own. And this will help a lot, I think, with sales and also with time in actually putting something together. You know, another good example of this is actually website services. Now, this is not something that most people think about, but I grew my business on a subscription-based model. And if you look at what I offer when I offer website services, it's crazy because I actually I actually offer a lot more than just the website. That's only one line item on a list of many. And so that's a stack. That's a Russian doll stack. I can pull information out of that and stack that value up based on it, and I don't have to add any additional products and services when I'm selling it. It's what I'm already doing, but it's just a change in how I am presenting it. Now, let me stress to you here, this tool, I'm assigning, because I'm going to be including this in different offers and things, and maybe even selling it one-off. I really think that this widget brainstormer is worth at least $300. It's a $297 value for sure. It's probably worth more than that if you factor in the time it took me to create it and refine it. So again, it's a $297 value, and I'm just giving it to you for free as a result of being a listener to this episode. You can go get it, northmexservices.com/widget. Doesn't matter when you listen to this, if it's a day after it comes out, a week, or 3 years, it will be there for you to go get, northmexservices.com/widget. You can download this and grab it, and I think it will help you in your business. Okay? Thank you so much for being a listener to Marketing for the Rest of Us. It's been a pleasure to spend some time with you, and I can't wait to see you in the very next episode.